Hello everybody, Rick here, and we're down at the barn today. And what I want to talk to you about is being prepared. I don't know what's going on, but there's something in my gut that tells me that more so now than ever before, we need to be prepared for any type of crisis that might come up in our lifetimes here. I went through the pandemic of 2020, which I'm sure most of you did as well, and there was nothing worse than having empty cabinets and going to the store and seeing nothing but empty shelves. Never mind the fact that there's no toilet paper or anything like that, but that's something that I certainly don't want to go through again. Don't want my family to have to go through it again. And I've been kind of, ever since then, like many other people have been trying to be more prepared should something like that happen again. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. We just had Hurricane Helena come through these past couple days, and the flooding in Georgia and South Carolina, Tennessee, and all that's just unbelievable. I mean, we got cities in North Carolina 300 miles away from the coastline that are devastated over hurricane weather. And even as far up here as in Kentucky, the rain that we had for these past 3 days, and the winds have blown down trees, knocked down power lines, and we have folks without power right now. Verizon network is nationwide across the whole country is shut down for most of the part, and a lot of folks are hitting social media, questioning why am I getting a SOS code on my phone. Who would have ever thought? Who would ever thought a hurricane that goes in to the coast of Florida, which happens every year, is going to have that kind of impact across several states. So I don't know if there's any amount of prepping in the world that you could do for the floods that they are dealing with. When you know there's houses that are 6 and 7 feet underwater, RVs floating down creeks, cars, small towns just completely taken off the map. It doesn't help very much at all if you got a pantry in your basement full of groceries and a generator in your garage ready to fire up if you can't get to it. So there's just some devastation that we could never prepare for. But at the same token, the things that we do know that are possible of happening, we can get prepared for those. The power outages during heavy storms, winter freezes, job loss, being laid off. Right now, I think they even have a longshoresmen are contemplating whether or not they're gonna strike, and if they do that, from the East Coast all the way down to our southern borders, if the longshoresmen go on strikes and don't handle the ships that are bringing in or transporting food, in our country, out of our country, and across our country, that's going to have a big impact on what's stocked out on the shelves and stuff like that. So Don't mean to scare anybody, don't want to alarm anybody. Yeah, we also have an election coming up. You know, the world's crazy out there. Who knows what's going to happen with the election? So, you know, we've seen some crazy stuff before, and there's certainly the possibility it could happen again. So, but what I want to do is I want to take the folks out there that haven't really thought about prepping yet, or think that, well, I don't have the space, I don't have the money, um, you know, I don't have a 3, 4, 5 acre uh, lot that you know I could do homesteading and grow my own green beans and corn and vegetables and stuff like that. There are things that you can do, and you don't have to be you don't have to do any of it overnight. You know, it's a work in progress. You know, it's something that you know, over a period of time, and I'm going to try to give you some tips on how to do that, that you can get prepared for stuff like that. You know, something as simple as, you know, I bought my generator, and guess what? 2020, you know. I may have, in fact, I think I probably bought my generator even longer ago than that, back during an ice storm that we had here in Kentucky, back in, oh shoot, when was that? 2008, 2009, when they had the ice storm and pretty much shut the state down. I bought a generator a couple years later that was at a yard sale, and the guy was just getting rid of stuff. He was getting ready to move, and said he bought it for the ice storm, and he hadn't used it since. And so I picked it up pretty cheap. But that's where you find stuff. You know, you find it from people that are getting ready to move out of the area, yard sales, thrift sales, marketplace. Marketplace is great for picking up stuff. So it's not, I have to have a lot of money, and I have to be able to do everything tonight, you know. Now, you know, you get on YouTube, or you Google any sites about prepping, and there's the doomsday thinkers out there that you know, the SHFT guys, that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen by the end of the month or by the end of the year. All the videos that are saying if you don't buy these 100 items by the end of October, then you're not going to make it. Or if you don't buy these 50 things, or the 30 things from Walmart you need to get by the end of the month, the 20 things you need to get from Aldi. There's hundreds of videos out there on prepping. And some of them are pretty scary. You know, some of them are pretty scary, and they make you think that you know, it's like, you know, maybe they have a premonition that I don't have. I don't know, but I will tell you this: something's going on out there, and even if it's just weather related. I think we need to be prepared, and you can do it. As the title of my thumbnail says, you can do it one can at a time. And you can, when you go to the grocery store, and you're picking up some groceries. I don't know how most folks shop. We shop about every 2 weeks. We get paid bi-weekly, so about, you know, every 2 weeks or so we'll hit the grocery store. We prepare what we're gonna, we plan ahead of time what meals we're gonna prepare, and then we buy our groceries based on the meals that we're gonna eat. We don't just go out and buy random random groceries and then try to figure out what we're gonna cook. And I think most people do that. They know they're gonna have spaghetti or something for supper. Then they need to get some spaghetti and maybe some pasta sauce, or so that's kind of the way we shop. But when you do that, uh, and you pick up that jar of spaghetti pasta or whatever, pasta sauce, pick up two of them, and then set one of them aside, um, for backup. And then when you have your spaghetti that week or the next week, and you find yourself at the store the next time, and you go in there and say, well, you know, I need to get a jar of spaghetti sauce or something. Buy another one, and or buy a can of green beans, or buy a can of corn, or um, uh, manwich. Just throw that extra can in there. Um, Shoot, some of it is as low as 68 cents a can, um, and over a period of time, you're going to find that you're building your stock up to where you'll have a backup, and you'll have a pantry that is not only just a working pantry, the one that you're living out of and cooking out of on a daily basis for a 2 week period or a month at a time, but you'll find that you start to build up to where you can build up to that 60-day, 90-day stock of food that'll be there when you need it, should situation arise. And the other thing that I totally recommend is buy stuff you like to eat. Buy food that you, your spouse, the kids are going to eat. Um, 100 things you need to have in your pantry. Number one, dry beans. Number two, lentils. If you're not going to eat dried beans, or if you're not going to eat lentils, unless it's the last thing out there in the world to eat, and you're not a bean and fried potatoes and cornbread eater, then don't buy beans and stuff. Buy the stuff that you're going to eat. Buy the food that you like to eat, and the family likes to eat, because otherwise you're going to get out there, and shelves are going to be bare, and it comes time to eat, and you're going to have a 50-pound bag of lentils down in the basement in a Mylar bag in a bucket or something, and trying to figure out what are you going to eat for supper that night, or what are we going to do. So I wholeheartedly recommend just buy the food you like to eat, and stock that. Uh, like I said, just go in the store and throw in that extra can in the basket. 68 cents a can, maybe $1, $2, $5 extra, a little bit extra, and before you know it, you're going to have a good stock built up. So in this video, we're going to talk about that pantry. I myself, we have a working pantry that we work out of, and I call it a kind of like a 30-day pantry. It's pretty pathetic right now because we're at the end of the month, and I do need to hit the store. But then again, down in the basement, we have our 60, 90-day pantry, and I'm still in the process of building it up. And along with it, part of that pantry is my long-term pantry that's got all my canned stuff, like canned green beans, canned corn, tomatoes, tomato juice, blackberry jam, some other stuff, that we get out of our garden that we do our canning. That's kind of there to. Some of that stuff is going to last us 2 and 3 years, and I've been backing that up as well. So we're going to talk about pantries. We're going to talk about that the working pantry, and then your 60, 90-day pantry, and your long-term pantry. And then we're gonna talk about backup electricity, backup power. What are you going to do for a power backup in the event that a snowstorm, ice storm comes in, or like the winds from the hurricane knock out power and stuff like that. Being prepared for power outages. And then along with power outages is comes along how am I going to stay warm, or how am I going to stay cool? Right now we're at the end of September and the temperatures are starting to drop. So so really there's no need for either or, heat or AC, but it won't be long, and we're going to need to be able to turn that furnace on, or be able to heat the house, and if we lose our power, we're not going to be able to do that. And so you need to have think about some kind of backup for that. And in our case, we deal with I've got firewood as a backup down here at the barn if I need to start a fire, and we could actually live down here in the barn. But I also have plenty of propane on hand, and I've got a camper that I use as the primary backup should we lose our power, to where we can hook the generator up, fire up the camper, and have our heat and electricity and comforts there that will help us out. And then so those are the three main things: is your food and water. I didn't mention water before, but a water supply, food and water, power outages or power support, and being able to heat the area when and if you need it for that. And then kind of throw in a little bit of bonus, my ammunition stock that I use for hunting, and then after ammunition, I always keep a good stock of Jack Daniels on hand. So not necessary, but just throw that in there as a bonus. So with that, we'll go on and get into each of the specifics here, and kind of go over in detail a little bit better. Show you some of the stuff that I've done to get prepared. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a fancy pantry down in the basement or something like that. I started out with stacking boxes on the floor to plastic shelves to you name it, milk crates. Stack milk crates up and put a board across it and all, until I could just improve it as you go along. So again, don't know what's going to happen, but we need to be ready. That's all I can say, is we need to be ready. A case of water is like $3.96. So I try to buy one of those every other time, or maybe once a month, once every 2 months. We do drink some bottled water. The kids drink bottled water when they're over here, but as far as the wife and I, we drink our water right out of the tap with no issue. We do put some flavor packets in it. The wife does, and I'll drink straight water. So pantry prepping is one thing. But then again, the next thing is what happens if you have a power outage, and that's more apt to happen than anything. I mean, people down south. Well, I say down south, as far north as Tennessee, are dealing with power outages from Hurricane Helena, and yeah, all the prepping in the world didn't help some of those places that are flooded out now. But let's say up here in Kentucky, where we're at, we had some power outages because of the high winds and and that came along with Hurricane Helena. And whether it's 3 hours, 12 hours, or 3 days of power outage, you want to be prepared for situations like that. We run quite a few freezers and refrigerators. We got a freezer in the garage, two freezers down here in the barn. We got a refrigerator up at the house and a refrigerator down at the barn, and every one of them have stuff in it that we don't want to lose in a 2, 3, 4 day power outage situation. So having a backup generator or some sort of backup power supply to be able to keep your power on, or keep power to those appliances is important. I know most people are, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have internet. I'm not going to have my computer. I don't have Wi-Fi. I'm not going to have TV. You can live without all that stuff, but when you're all the money you have spent over a period of time to stock your freezers and stock your refrigerators all goes to waste because you don't have some sort of backup electric, you'll soon wish you had. And there's all kind of backup electrical stuff out there on YouTube, whether it's solar power, whether it's these new battery pack things, the Blue Yetis, the different power supports that are charged via solar or electric or from your vehicle. Whatever the case may be, whatever you can afford, then I'd say go for it. But that's an important thing, and we do have a generator here, and it's capable of handling our freezers. We can keep some other things in the house operating. We could certainly power electric to our camper, and that's going to be our first backup in the event that we lose electric and heat and all that, air conditioning, whatever the case may be. Then we got our travel trailer here as a backup that we can live out a bit. And of course my go-to is right down here at the barn. Down at the barn I got me a wood stove sitting right beside me. I got a stock of firewood outside, and so I'm good to go. The wife might like the comforts of the camper a little bit more so than sleeping on a couch down here in the barn, or having to tend to a wood stove all night, but it certainly isn't an issue with me. We've got, you'll see, we got plenty of propane backup. I got 60 pounds on one travel trailer. I got 40 on another. I got three tanks of propane down here in the barn. One I use for my Blackstone, one I use for my grill, and one I use for my cooker. So, and then I think I've got 24 1-pound bottles that I use on various equipments. I can use it on my Blackstone. I can use it on Mr. Buddy heaters. I even have a grill that I can plug a 1-pound tank up to, and it's a mini grill that I can hook it up to. So I've got my food all covered. I've got my electricity covered, and I got my heat covered in the sense of a situation that comes up. And I don't know. The other, those are the basics that I think is important for everybody to think about. And if you haven't done anything at all you should probably need to think about doing something, because there's always situations where we have power outages. You never know when the next pandemic's going to be. I'm not saying anything's going to happen during election, but but listening to other folks, there's a good chance that people are stupid out there, and they're liable to do stupid stuff and do whatever they can to shut down the economy, or whatever the case may be. So you want to be prepared for that. So this is kind of odd. Is one of the things I'm going to talk about is my ammunition supply for when I go hunting, for stocking my wild game freezer and providing backup meat, whether it's birds, small game, or deer, and just for the fun of it, I think I took a small video here of my liquor supply of Jack Daniels. I'll go on and stop talking at this point, and we'll walk through each one of the areas. But the main point I want to, let's go to the videos. We're up in the kitchen, and this is our working pantry. This is what we go to daily, and we've kind of got it broken down. On the top here, I've got sugar and flour, some pastas, and seasonings, packet seasonings. This has got ranch, chili mix, taco seasoning, brown gravy, all kinds of seasoning type stuff. We got some onion, mushroom seasoned packets, and then these bouillon cubes here. Bouillon cubes are really the ideal thing to go with. You put one cube in a cup of hot water and dissolve it, and it takes up a heck of a lot space compared to your canned and box broths, which I have a tendency to get the canned and the box stuff, but the wife, she picks up the cubes. Down here we got some canned goods, brown gravy mix, cream of mushroom, some chicken soup. I believe this is chicken soup here. Yeah, some canned soups, tomato soup, vegetable soups, different kind of soups in our broths. And then down here, the chili and tomatoes for making a pot of chili, some Jiffy Mix, refried beans. We don't eat that many tacos a month, but I got carried away on beans the other night. And then some other beans, corn, green beans, and then some cream style corn. Down here we got more of our pastas, pasta sauce. There's mixed vegetables back here in the back. And then our tacos. Down here we got some potatoes, dried beans, spaghetti, and some tomato juice. So this here, we don't typically normally go straight from the store to this pantry. We pull from down in the basement up to this one. We pull from the 90-day pantry up to this one and restock it. And then, but as we pull stuff out of here, when we do go to the store, we replace that downstairs. Plus, we may buy a couple extra cans to build it up even more. So there's our working pantry from in the kitchen. I know the lighting It's pretty poor in here, but it gives you an idea of what we got up at the very top here. I got some pancake mix, bag of cereal for the granddaughter, and a couple of appliances, it looks like, back there. So that's our working pantry. We're down in the basement now in the pantry here. This is what I call my combination of long-term and our 90-day supply pantry. Over here to the left, we've got all the stuff from the garden that's been canned. I don't have anything on this bottom shelf yet, but I got green beans here, and I got corn up here. I've got 2 flats of blackberry jam. We got some pie fillings here. We got some pineapple, cherry, and apple pie fillings, and then there's some apple butter. I've got honey from New York City, and then we've got regular honey from the Joneses down at the deer camp, which I'm going to pick up some more this coming weekend. Crushed red peppers that the wife has been making out of the cayennes, some bread and butter pickles, salsa, and some tomato juice. And then one SHFT, we've even got some MREs stored up here for an extreme emergencies. Over here we have, this is what I call my 90-day supply, and like I've said at the beginning of the video, you don't need your income tax check or your bonus or a month's pay or anything like that to start stocking. Just whatever you can do when you can do it will help. And what I do is I take the combination of the pantry upstairs, the working pantry, and I replenish it with stuff down here. But as I need stuff up there, I still go to the grocery store and I'll still buy what I need, but I bring it down here to replenish this. And oh, by the way, to keep stocking this even better, I'll buy that extra can of chili beans, the extra can of diced tomatoes, or whatever the case may be. So one thing I'm going to do here in the future, I still got some canning I got to do. I got to can some more blackberry jam, but all these jars here, canning jars, are all empty. And what I'm going to do is, once I'm done canning for the season, I'm going to fill all these jars up with water so that they're just not empty jars sitting on a shelf. They're serving a purpose, and I can put water in them. And down here, these are all my canned goods, and it's stuff that we use every month. I mean, we're always making chicken and pasta meals. You see my pasta over here, chicken and pasta meals. Always needing beef broth. You got cream of mushroom soups in here. My chili, I got chili beans and diced tomatoes, and I always do them in sets because when I make a pot of chili, I know I'm going to use one of each. And then we got some Alfredo sauce and pasta sauce, and then some canned chicken and canned tuna. Down here, over here on the right, is all the pastas that we use: spaghetti, rigatoni, penne, and some jumbo shells, Velveeta shells. And I got some crunchy taco kits and some ramen noodles that will cook and mix some of the other stuff. Like you take a pack of ramen and a can of chicken breast, you can make you a pretty good meal. Throw in some vegetables with it, and you got a hearty deal. And I'm a big cornbread eater. And I know most of y'all people say that ain't real cornbread. Well, it is. It isn't. It's Jiffy Mix, but it makes a sweet cornmeal, and the kids like it. I like it, and if we like it, we eat it. So we do. And then over here, I got my water supply down at the bottom. I used to drink a lot of 2-liter sodas, and then I got away from that and I started drinking out of cans. But these 2-liter sodas here, I just put water in them for your basic things like maybe bathing, doing dishes, feeding water to dogs with, or water to dogs with, stuff like that. And we've actually had to use quite a few of these in a real world situation where when Ricky was living out in a place in Ekron, the well went dry because of a leak in a house across the road from him, and the well ran dry, so we had to haul out totes of water out there for him so that he can take care of his family and all that. And then we got drinking water. I use this here for cooking and drinking as opposed to using this water down here. And then over here I've got some totes. Eventually I need to get a couple more. I got plenty of these, but they're out in the garage filled with Christmas stuff. But I'm gonna get at least 2 more in here, and all this boxed up stuff, all this stuff that's in boxes, will go into a tote. And then I'll have the totes as, you know, like miscellaneous stuff, and then all my pasta in one tote. And then what I keep in here is in this particular one is canning supplies. I got sugars, canning salt, some pickling spices, and I got some tea down here. The bottom 2 are full of toilet paper. They're stuffed with toilet paper. So again, I kind of section it off. I got my water, I got my 90-day supply, and then I got my long-term stuff here. And that's the way I want to try to keep it broken down. Eventually, I'll put some more shelving up here as I continue to grow. But this takes a while to do, and it's you know, you don't have to be at this stage. And if you look at many of the other pantry YouTubes out there, this pantry is pathetic compared to a lot of others. But this is stuff that we eat every day, every month, and we replenish from it. So, but ideally, I want to have all canned foods on this side, and then all my boxed up stuff inside totes to keep it critter free or anything like that. Plus, we do run a dehumidifier down here in the basement, so it doesn't get a lot of moisture in here. So that's it. That's the downstairs pantry, and from here we'll go check out down at the barn what we store down there. I currently have 3 freezers in operation. I got one of them that's shut down right now, but this one is in the kitchen, and it's quick and easy to grab from. We got some chicken breast, some hamburger meat, chicken wings, and other chicken stuff, and then some quick throw in the microwave type stuff, some chicken nuggets for the granddaughter, and then all these here containers are leftover soups and stews and whatnot. There might be some leftover chili, leftover roast beef and stuff like that. They'll make it down to the deer camp this coming weekend or the next. But this is our kitchen freezer. Here's our garage freezer, and this is our go-to from the kitchen freezer. Then we'll come out here if there's something that we need in the kitchen. I do have a lot of stuff up top, some bell peppers, jalapeno slices, some blackberries I need to get canned, make me some jam, some okra, some frozen vegetables. Down here we got some meats. I got some ribs and chicken wings, pizzas. I tell you, if it was up to me, we'd go through about 52 pizzas a year. I'd eat a pizza every Friday night, and I'm a big fan of DiGiorno, and they come out with that classic crust, and it's a good combination between the rising crust and the thin crust, and the wife and I both like it, so that's a win-win for us. Got more chicken breasts down here, some jalapeno poppers that I pre-made, some more roast back there, some strawberries that I need to jam up, more blackberries, some treats for the grandkid, frozen lasagna, bag of ice down at the bottom. Down here I got some deer burger and regular beef burger, some more toast and bread and biscuits, stuff like that. So this is kind of our backup to our kitchen. Well, I forgot about this freezer. This is the freezer down in above the refrigerator down in the barn, and I've got a lot of frozen vegetables in here. Some more blackberries that need to be canned up. Some strawberries, make some strawberry jams. I usually put stuff in here that I'm going to be cooking down here, but this thing needs to be gone through, and a lot of this stuff needs to be go on and put in another freezer so I can control it a little bit better. But this is my barn refrigerator freezer. And then over here is my wild game freezer, and in it I've got all my deer steaks. We eat a lot of deer steaks, and some processed deer meat, jerkies and salami and stuff like that. I've got some goose meat in here, a couple of neck roasts from deer, some trout, meat to make jerky with, and some rabbits from last year. So this is what I call my wild game freezer. Another thing I like to keep stocked up on plenty is ammunition. I've got up here on this shelf here, I got my 20 gauge ammo on the right. I've got 8 shot and 6 shots. There might be a couple 5 and 4s for squirrel and rabbits. I got 16 gauge over here and 410 here in the middle. Down at the bottom this is all predominantly a 12 gauge, mostly 8 shots. I got some 12 gauge 6 shots for when I go rabbit hunting, some slugs for deer hunting on Fort Knox, and then a lot of steel shot for when I go on our goose hunt. Over here, you can't have too much 22 ammunition, and I know this ain't near as much as some folks got, but it'll last me. But 22 ammo, I got some BBs and pellets from a pellet gun, 243, 30-06, and 9mm rounds. So that's pretty much my ammo stock. Try to keep it stocked up. And one can never have too much Jack Daniels on hand, so got quite a collection here, the majority of which has all been given to me by my peers and co-workers that they take good care of me. So the main point I want to bring out here in this video is that, number one, it doesn't take a lot of money to build up a pantry. It's something that you can do for as little as 68 cents a trip to maybe $5, $10, $20, whatever the case may be. And it doesn't have to be done overnight. It doesn't have to be something that, oh my gosh, if I don't do this by tomorrow, then tomorrow the world's going to come to an end and I'm not going to be able to survive. I don't, you don't have to live in that kind of a fear. There'll be people that disagree with me. There's YouTubers out there that if they have if you could go to DraftKings and put your money on it, the world will come to an end tomorrow, and it very well may. But I'm just trying to help those that don't have anything or think you don't have anything or the ability to stock your pantry the way it needs to be in the event of something happening, and you need to be prepared for that. And then backup for electricity is a important thing for long-term power outages, and then a way to heat, stay warm, still cook some hot meals and stuff like that, because living off of MREs for 30 days is not the right answer either. Is it doable? Yes, it is. Been there, done it, got the t-shirt, but it's not ideal situation to put your wife and kids through if you have to. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. Let me tell you, my cigar of choice tonight is a Quorum from the J.C. Newman Cigar Company. It's a handmade Nicaragua blend of tobacco, and that's my cigar of choice tonight. And I'm drinking a Diet Sam's Cola. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you heard, give me a shout out in the comments. If you disagree with what I said, I'm more than welcome to listen to your side as well. So y'all take care.